2 weeks, how'd the spring practice go? You have one more day, that's Saturday?
Yeah, so
we'll Sunday afternoon.
We're going to Sunday afternoon, and then Monday it will be our last official day. But the last time we'll be on the field doing football specific stuff will be Sunday. We're really pleased. Our guys have had a very good off season. They were really diligent in terms of their off season attendance in the weight room. I don't know if I should really say attendance, but the guys are motivated.
Yeah.
The way we started last year was certainly not what anyone wanted. The way we lost to Widener later in the year was I think embarrassing for a lot of us. Our guys really don't want to go through that again. You go back and you look at some stuff, and we could have won more games last year than we did, and we lost to some good teams. I mean, Albright was a good football team. DelVal was a obviously we beat them, but they were a good football team. Widener's a good team. Stevenson was a good team.
Yeah.
And all of those guys were postseason, for the most part, bowl game eligible or close. And then there were some other guys that we were close. And I don't want to discredit some of the other people we lost to, but we were in some games. So look, 4-6 is not what we want here. Our guys really want to, make sure that we do things differently. And so where we are today, just about at the end of our spring compared to where we were a year ago, it's not even close.
Oh, yeah.
In a number of ways. I don't know that our talent level is significantly different, but where we are from a strength and conditioning standpoint, where we are from a cohesiveness or a unity standpoint, where we are from a competitive standpoint, where we are in terms of our enthusiasm.
That's what I got from one of the guys I interviewed. It's a really different atmosphere this year on this field, practice field. That's nice.
Well, I mean, so John, when you do it for a long time and you have pretty good success, and going back prior to last year, we had won, I think it's 31 games the previous 4 years. So not phenomenal, but pretty good. Most schools would want to win close to 80% of their games.
They'd take it, yeah.
So here it's usually not good enough, but that's okay. We're good. I don't mind those expectations. Yeah. But last year was an eye opener. And beating Delaware Valley, I think, reminded our guys that if we played well for a whole game, we can beat a good team.
Yeah.
Our Albright game, listen, they deserved to be in the NCAAs. They won our conference, but we fumbled twice in the red zone and once at the goal line, and it was a 4-point game in the third quarter. We just were so fragile mentally and so young last year that when things went wrong, collectively we didn't handle them well, and so we're a little bit better.
All those early games were sort of deja vu.
Yeah.
We came out looking good,
yeah.
And it was one of those things that
it kind of became here we go again.
And then it was almost like, but yeah, you got to like the way that team started to mature and progress. The last half of the season was
better.
Pretty good, and now this year I guess you have an offensive line that's most everyone's back.
Yeah, yes and no.
Okay.
So we lose Matt Patterson, who was a first-team all-conference player, was really, really good last year. I mean, Matt had a very nice career for us, but last year was outstanding. But yeah, no. So we're excited about. Bailey Hughes will be a 3-year starter. Austin Middle's really going to be a 3.5, 4-year starter. Brad Stubbs is a really talented guy. Brad Beaver was on the field last year. Colin Buffington played last year, But Matt Patterson was our best player last year. Yeah, so we're getting some people into some different spots. We're getting some guys settled in. I do think we'll be deeper. Like we have some young guys that are relearning the stuff that you kind of teach them last year. But if they're not into too deep, it's so some other young guys have started to show us that they maybe can become a good player. The problem with that is with the way we're allowed to work out now, you really can't tell if you can block anybody or tackle anybody.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yep, you have about 2.5 weeks before the first game.
And so that's the difference is that so we think we have guys that have done the right stuff, but you really don't know till you can play football in August.
Wide receivers. Mm-hmm. We lost a good one in Appleby, but I think it was at number 12. Is it Costello?
Yeah, Nick Costello.
He always impressed me last year, and you have some guys that'll fill in. But
We're excited about that group.
They're not Umpleby right now, but
no. But I tell you what, John. You know, there are some guys there that we really like. Nick could be very good. You know, Keegan Morrison will be the only senior in the group, and then you're really looking at a bunch of sophomores. But there's several there that
we seem to get wide receivers. And someone steps up every year, it seems like.
Yeah, so we got to add some freshmen to the mix, but the group right now, honestly, there's and we have a couple. You know, Chase Williams is working with the receivers a little bit and getting work at quarterback. He's a really athletic kid that but there are 6, and if you count Chase, 7 guys. All of those guys are capable guys. Like we could put all of those guys in a football game right now, a meaningful game, not JV games. Like it's a very athletic group of kids. They have to get the knowledge still, but there are some guys there I think that will really surprise some people as we move forward.
And some experience at quarterback. Chase Whiteman he had a great second half of the year.
He did.
What can you say about Blake Bowman? Just stay healthy, and the kid just works.
He's good. He's really good,
and he doesn't care anything but let's win as a team, and just doesn't care about the records, but he keeps piling them up.
Yeah, he had a tremendous year last year in his first as a starter, and you know, we'd like to maybe get him a few more touches this year. You know, he was just over the 200 mark last year, but I think, he's just over the 200 mark last year, and I think, we might push that a little bit this year. We don't want to overdo it, but he definitely, last year, I think, showed that he's one of the top running backs in the conference.
Switching to defense. That's a spot that maybe needs a little work, and I think you're hoping to pick up some maybe some secondary people. And you have a new coach there, and I understand.
Yeah, so we've tweaked a little bit there. We've done some things differently, John. Unfortunately, a couple guys that coached with us last year aren't here anymore, and one's not in coaching anymore. Doug Thiel is still in town, and he's actually going to, but there were a lot of variables that went into it, and so Doug has a job outside of coaching, but is actually still going to coach at Williamsport. Bill Creed, who was with us last year, is a guy who moved on and got a job at Marist at the 1AA level. So we took a look at a couple different things, and we're fortunate to hire a new secondary coach in Mark Surma, who had been at Lehigh the last few years, and I'm really excited about where we are defensively. I think we'll surprise some people. Mark brings a really unique perspective. Steve has done some research at some other places, and I think that I'm excited about some of the stuff we're doing over there, and it'll look the same at times, but people will definitely see us doing some things next year that they haven't seen us doing. And in terms of the talent level, I'll tell you what, Michael Ward's an outstanding player in the secondary and is really getting better. Demetrius Boyd and Demetrius has showed as a freshman he could be a very good player. Jarrell Payne's going to be a very good player. Joe Pinska has a shot to be a good player. Kamari Williams has done some really good things, and all those guys are only sophomores and juniors. Really, Michael's the only junior, so the rest of those guys. John Zeter is going to be a capable guy there, to provide depth in the secondary, and so with a couple other, hopefully some help in recruiting, I think in the back end we'll be okay. We'll be athletic, and then as a result of that, some other guys have moved forward, who are now linebackers. Zach Smith, Caleb Robbins, who maybe might have just been a little out of place on the back end, now become really athletic linebackers. So I think defensively, We're not as deep as we'd like to be, and we have to solve some questions at linebacker.
John Rummel, he's on the
he's
line, isn't he?
On the D line. John is very
he,
good.
He led in the sacks last year for the team, so he's back.
He's going to be very good.
Yeah.
He is. John is. When you go back and you watch last year, John had a very good junior year.
You know, it's
good.
tough. It's tough for linemen.
Yep.
They're not out there catching the ball in that, but boy, if you go study them, you can tell.
Yeah, and listen, we'll find some ways to utilize John, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to say too much, but I'm pleased. Look, after last year, not just defensively, John, offensively, special teams. I mean, you evaluate everything.
Yeah.
And we all took a look in the mirror.
Yeah. You can't tell what the defense was like when offense is struggling and the defense might be out there more than you think. And it was just, it just started swinging halfway through the year.
Yeah, so we're gonna. I'm excited. I'm really genuinely excited. I think we're much more athletic on the defensive side of the ball. Right now, our guys. I mean, there are some. The young secondary guys are really going to be good.
You're excited about it.
Yeah, I like. I mean, our sophomores or second semester freshmen right now.
Yeah.
They brought some across the board some athleticism to our team. So we're excited about all those guys. The wideouts, the D-backs. Yep, all those guys.
And recruiting, I saw a tall young kid here today that might be coming and he's staying overnight. And again, they have to. Put their name in and put some money on.
We're
so
still.
You don't know who you're getting till probably mid-August.
We are. We're getting close to finishing, but you're right. I mean, like, so we're just under. I think right now we have 21 guys who have paid their deposits. We're another almost 20, just under 20 who have said they want to come to school here that are quote unquote committed.
Yeah.
But you're right. Until their financial aid packages are sent out and they see what they have to pay and they pay their deposits, you're never really sure.
Yeah.
But we're excited about a lot of those guys. Yeah.
Well, 5 months and it'll be September. We don't want to rush it, but enjoy the summer.
We will.
And it looks like in golf, you know, when you have a bogey, you're looking for the bounce back birdie. And this is Lycoming's bounce back. I'm pretty sure, and I'm excited about what I see too.
Well, I think John. At the end of the day, we'll have a chance to be a good team because of everything that our guys have done. Yeah. It's our record next year will be directly related to everything that's happened since the end of last season, and that's like I said earlier. That's a number of variables. That's there's a physical component, there's a mental component, there's a social component, there's an attitude component. I mean, there's a lot of things that have gone into it, and we are, I don't know if drastically different is the right word, but we got a lot of people on the same page right now.
And made some adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
And always exciting, always good talking to you.
I appreciate it.
Have a good summer. Thanks for talking to
No problem. Happy you're here. All right, thanks, John.
Yep.
This has been a production of Lycomingfootball.com.